From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Trent Shann. Actually, Shann's not here tonight. Keith will be filling for Shann's on mommy duty tonight. Let's bring Keith in real quick.
Hey there. Happy, it's Wednesday, right? So yeah, fancy meeting you people this evening.
Good. What's going on with you? How was your Wednesday?
Oh, managing through the bipolar Atlanta weather. I like the setup there, Mr. Epic. That looks great.
It's coming along. I still have to put the photos up and put them back up, rather. And and all that stuff.
See, you inspired me because that's what I'm doing. My space, I'm like doing a whole redo because
okay.
I needed to be my Zen zone.
Good stuff. Glad you like it. Actually, I took your advice and I'm actually hardwired. So the alpha female suggested hardwired. There you have it.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
There we go. Good stuff, man. Hey, man, red flags.
Hey, Marty. Marty's on with us. So, hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Martine? Good stuff. So red flags, man. Red flags are still red flags. They will not change colors. And I find that very funny because I was in a situation like that once before, a few years back, when I actually saw the red flag. But I'm like, nah, I could change it. That's when, that want took over that need, didn't care about the need. This is what I want. Even though the red flag was there, I tried to make that red flag change colors, everything. Couldn't do it. It will not change colors, man. Red flags are red flags. What's your thoughts?
So yeah, I agree with you. But I find it, you know me, I hate to say but, right? And I find it interesting that you say you thought you could change it. I think that when people get past 8 or 9, it's just very difficult to change some of that stuff. So part of me feels why even try it? And I mean, right? Because red flags, if you meet someone in their 30s, even late 20s, they're just going to be, because that person has to be willing to change themselves and you can't do it. So red flags are red flag. And I agree. They're just, the color will not change.
It won't change. And as much as, that's when our want supersedes our need ourselves. And we just forget about what we need and go straight for the want. I was in a situation like that where I totally disregarded the need. Totally disregarded because this is what I wanted. And it was not good for me healthy wise. It wasn't good for me mentally wise. None of it. But that red flag, no matter how you want to change it, you want the colors to change, it's gonna stay the same. It's gonna remain the same. Sometimes it get a little brighter.
So because when I was thinking about this topic, for whatever reason, my mind went directly to sports. I don't know why, but yeah, I went to sports.
Go ahead.
I started thinking, I was like, football, I'm really let's review the play. But I think in a relationship, no, I don't want to review the play. I saw what I saw. Red flag.
Exactly. I came along with a few pointers. I jotted some down when we talk about what, the important things to look for in the relationship as far as the red flags, what to look for. I'll go down a couple of them as throughout the show. We'll just go, like we normally do.
Well, let's break down. Let's give me one of them. Give me one of the things that you found.
Okay. If you find yourself, you're constantly unhappy, If you're constantly unhappy, consistently unhappy, something's wrong. So that red flag, you should know that red flag right off top. If you're constantly unhappy, I'll give you another one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just like, thinking through that one. It looks like we've got a few comments. I would love to hear what they have to say about red flag. I think Martine has go back one. She said red flags are there before you met them. It's a thing they have to outgrow. They may never adjust.
Hold on one sec.
Oh yeah, that was about 3 up.
Going the wrong way or which one?
Yep, you're going the wrong way. Go the other way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So red flags are there before you met them. It's a thing they have to outgrow.
Exactly.
They may not ever adjust. Yeah. So see, that's what I was saying. Like, if you meet them and they're like that, like, it won't happen.
It won't happen. Red flag is that it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. Look like, what's up, Earth? I see Earth in there as well.
Yeah. Hey, Earth. Happy Wednesday.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So go back to the point that you were making. What was the first area of opportunity? First time that you would notice a red flag?
If you're constantly unhappy and it's continuously throughout the relationship, even at the beginning of the relationship, if you're constantly unhappy, that's a red flag.
So I think you need to be specific though, right? Because is your partner making you unhappy, or because right, you could just be unhappy going through some other emotional things, right? So that could be a red flag for that other individual saying, this emotional thing is too much for me.
Exactly. But as you know, within relationships, we tend not to communicate.
Yeah.
So we'll sit in it. Even though we're upset and unhappy, we won't say it. We'll put on a face. We'll constantly most times we're lying to ourselves. So we'll put the face on. Oh, everything's fine. Knowing all the while, you're unhappy. But you fail to communicate that. The red flags get brighter and brighter. The person may not even know what they're doing. My conscious, they may not even know. In most cases, you have to address that.
I think to your point, right, the emotional thing is that unhappiness. I mean, it can weigh heavy, right? It's like, I'm trying to have a great relationship with this individual, but either they're emotionally happy or they're making me unhappy. Like one of the either or, right? It's still, to your point, it's a flag. I want to throw one back. What do you think about an individual who comes to the table and they don't have any friends?
It depends. That could work two ways. That they don't have that wouldn't be a red flag for me.
You don't think so? I'm your only friend. Seriously? Come on.
Well, if you say it like that, yeah. But I mean, come on. One friend? You don't have one friend?
Yeah, you don't be around anyone. You don't call anyone. You are like in and out of the barbershop, like red flag.
Well, that's a red flag. You don't have friends. But in my case, let's just say in my case,
yeah,
I'll throw myself in that. I don't have a lot of folks around me. I have good friends. I am full of friends, but I don't have a ton of folks around me.
All right, what you do? Right, the dot.
I'm sorry.
You have the dot. We already talked about not the circle, but the dot. You already have the dot. So, like, I get it. But like, if you didn't have the dot, then I'd be like, brother, what's wrong? What's going on?
Well, that's true. I can agree with that. That's definitely a red flag. If you don't have a dot, you should have at least a speck, something.
Absolutely.
I totally agree with that. I could agree with that.
Ursula, what did you say? Ursula said, Keisha said, flag on the field. That's right. Absolutely. Flag on the field. Martine has a good one. She said, constantly having to apologize or have a sit down.
constantly having to apologize to the. You have to apologize to the guy who was actually holding the red flag. I'm not sure what she mean.
She said yeah, she said having no friends is a hell of a red flag. So yeah, Martine, so like constantly having to apologize for what I've done, something I did or I didn't, come through or deliver on something, or if you can clarify that. And I think I'm assuming that have a sit down is really about, well, we need to have a talk. Am I having a talk with that individual over and over?
Exactly.
Because yeah, I would be exhausted because you're not my kid.
Exactly. I totally get that.
That would
another
be
one. Another point would be you got nothing to talk about. If you're in a relationship and the person has nothing to talk about, you're driving a conversation. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
They probably don't want to be there.
Yeah, or they drive the conversation, or they pretend to engage in the conversation, right? Exactly. But they are not even present when you're having the conversation.
That's a huge red flag.
Yeah. I see that a lot with young people. This new thing, I don't know if you all have seen this, but I have young adults and they're constantly on FaceTime all day long. And the other person is not saying a thing.
Right.
I'm like, when do you eat? And when do you go to the bathroom? Like, what? I don't even understand it. And I'm like, but I see some low-key toxicity in it. It's almost like if I don't know where you are, then that's going to be a problem for me.
How about this one?
Yeah.
They have you second guessing their feelings toward you.
Oh, that's gaslighting. That is gaslighting. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's not even a flag. That's not even a flag. That's right. Yeah.
That's probably a red bomb.
Another one is the relationship is all about them.
It's all about them, or it's all about the optics. Like what we look like together, and I have this, and we look like a power couple, but we don't even talk to each other at the house.
Exactly. That's a huge red flag. That's called a superficial red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
See, we've got some comments over there. Oh, Martine has a good one. She says, one who's got several stories about folks suddenly stop speaking to them. Yes, I know someone like that. And I had to tell them, have you ever stepped back to take a look at you? I mean, exactly. you are the common denominator in these situations.
Exactly. Totally agree with that. Yeah, I had a friend like that once.
I don't even get into the semantics of I don't know. It's just me. You probably will never know that I stopped talking to someone.
That sounds like me all day long.
I tend to treat it like, who? What are you talking about?
Exactly. I call it fade to black. Hey, sometimes you don't need an explanation. Sometimes you don't need an explanation. Just look for the exit door.
Or along those lines, stories of crazy exes.
So who's the crazy one? Yeah, I totally agree.
It's like, how can you have I dated this girl and she did this and she did this and she keyed my car.
Well, what did you do?
Then the next one, she put a candy bar in my gas tank, and I'm like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. So yeah, with the red flag, man, and actually being wanting a red flag to change colors. When I was in a situation like that, I focused constantly on the want. Back then, didn't know, but I constantly focused on want, disregarded the need. That's why I was neglecting myself.
Again, so would you have thrown the red flag on yourself? Would you want to review the play?
Back then, not me. I wouldn't have. I should have.
Hey, we don't know what we don't know. So
exactly. There you go. There you go. You're absolutely right. It was so bad for me to where I was dependent on her with my own money.
Oh,
That's deep.
that is deep.
I was
Really?
dependent. I was dependent on her with my own money. Because the want was so bad.
Like, give me an example of what that looked like.
What that looks like, I became a dependent with my own money.
I know, like, so one time
She controlled my entire bank account, funds, everything.
you were asking for your own money.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much.
So Babyface wrote Whip Appeal about you, huh?
You can say that. You can say that. I guess you can say. I guess you can say I was blinded by the California sunshine.
Jeez, apparently. Sunshine, sunshine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It never rains in Southern California, huh?
At all.
Wow.
At all. So that was a huge red flag that I wanted to turn colors and could not turn colors no matter what I gave her.
What about emotional behaviors like, distrustful, jealousy, even all the way to the extreme emotional side of having, controlling behaviors, addictions. Like, I think those early and people dismiss them.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. When you talk about controlling, you're talking about just the whole needy, grabby situation. That's not a red flag. That's a fluorescent light flashing.
It's a red strobe light.
Exactly. So yeah, you have to be careful for stuff like that, man, because sometimes they can camouflage that for a while.
Yeah.
Actually, I was dating a girl once. She camouflaged it real good for a while until she came unglued in my place of business. She was literally stalking me outside of my place of business.
Oh.
And she came unglued. I'm sitting there talking to a customer and completely embarrassed me. I mean, I'm talking about embarrassed. And didn't see it. I didn't see those red flags at first. Hey, we hanging out, we're going to dinner, hanging out, taking trips, all that stuff, whatnot. But there's one particular time, I don't know what happened, but she became unglued. Boom. I didn't see the red flag though.
Why do you think you didn't see the red flag?
I was too far into myself. I was too far into what I was doing. I wasn't concentrating on my surroundings, what was going on with the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. So if I'd have been less into myself, I would have saw the red flag and made the U-turn. Make sense?
Yeah. And I think sometimes, right, you know, it on the surface level, right, it feels good. You're just kind of like, oh, let me just go with the flow, and you overlook things that are probably obvious, right?
Exactly.
I mean, because there are people that I've dated that I'm like, if I had just looked one level deeper, I would have seen this earlier than I did.
Totally agree. Look like Martina has a lot to say here. One sec, let's get to it.
Skip back one. No, go other direction. I think Ursula has a comment. What about the conversations that are all over the place? For example, when you talk about work or building a business and the opposite partner talks about people and material things.
Urs, run quick.
That is along the lines of they're just not that into you.
Exactly. Run quick in a hurry. That's not good, man. Because if you're talking about goals like that, you're talking about life goals like that, and all they could talk about is superficial things, you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
That's called unevenly yoked.
Yep. Absolutely.
Get out of there real quick. Let's get to Martine here one second.
Well, Martine sounds like Martine had a story. I had a guy who tried to control me, and it got to the point where my friends stopped coming around. He even showed up at a hangout spot where my friends and I tried to pull me out of there. And that's what narcissists and those that like to control do, right? They get you isolated so that they can manipulate you and control you and do whatever they want to do.
Exactly.
And which is like, and I guess, Martine, maybe my question is did you, when it all fell out, did you have some aha moments to say, oh, I should have caught this, but I didn't. And now it makes me, now you're looking back and reflecting, going, oh, I probably should have caught this.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because with that previous situation with the girl coming into my place of business, certain things that I noticed, but I didn't address it because it was the situation was beneficial to me. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I completely disregarded every red flag I saw in this woman because it was beneficial to me.
The one that you gave all your money to?
No, it's a totally different situation. I'm talking about the touchy, the grabby, the needy,
yeah,
the crazy. Totally disregarded it because I was getting exactly what I wanted out of that situation. It always goes back to that want, never the need, the want, what I was getting. So I got caught up with that red flag and got tangled in. It took me a while. It took me a few years to have her stop stalking me. Took a while.
Did you have to pursue it legally to get her to stop?
Yeah, I really did. Went to court and everything with her. I mean, it was really bad. It was bad. It was a bad situation. But I blame myself for that because not only did I lead the girl along, I had no interest in this girl like that. I had no interest like that.
That's some straight up fatal attraction.
It really was. It really was. I mean, to her, she was harassing my employees, everything. She would come in there. I know you effing him. I know you. Like, wow, really?
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
Deep level insecurities.
Exactly. It was pretty bad.
It's so interesting. We talk about red flags, between, in relationships, but, you see them in people, you see them everywhere. You see them at work. And so I got some new neighbors.
Oh.
And they spent a lot of money for this house across the street from me. And they're having a lot of updates and upgrades. But the first thing that made me go, was they parked their car on the grass. And I was like, do you see anybody over here parking their car on their grass? So I was like, red flag. And sure enough, the flag showed up last night.
Exactly.
Because cops came a knocking last night.
Oh, this recently happened?
Last night, literally. I was like, okay, then. I didn't expect that.
Oh.
I was like, but now that I look back, I was like, signs were there.
Wow, exactly.
Something was amiss, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I was like, okay.
And another one, I'm gonna choose this one because I saw Martini's comment about me waking up from the California sunshine and whatnot. But actually, here's one that says that you notice the change in your self-esteem. My self-esteem was pretty low. I mean, I was very insecure, started being insecure, everything. We're talking about a guy who never had issues like that. And my self-esteem was in the pits.
So what would you say for someone who experiences that and they end up with, some low self-esteem as a result of those red flags? How do you bring yourself out of that and change the color?
You honestly have to have the conversation with yourself. You have to have that conversation with yourself. You have to come at some point. I was at my lowest point at one point when I was in that relationship. I had to come to grips with everything about it, man. Everything about it. I remember, I can recall how I came to grips with it when she was actually shopping for a guy that she met on a plane ride back to visit her parents. on my credit card and everything. And this guy, she bought the guy the same outfit for Christmas. And had the audacity to put it into the closet. And I mean, that's how the disrespect was heavy. It was heavy. So at that point, I had the conversation with myself, like, yo, you gotta get out of this. You gotta stop this. Because the disrespect had become so blatant. It was time to go. It was time to kick her out, completely out.
So that sounds like one, right? That's probably like not on a list somewhere, that the disrespect is heavy.
Exactly.
Red flag.
So I gotten to the point where, you know what? Let me go and kill this relationship before I kill her.
Yeah.
It was that disrespectful. It was bad, real bad.
Wow.
Yeah, real bad.
Wow. Let's see. Martine says, wait a minute, going back, Earth said, lucky for you, Trent, California sunshine was temporary and you woke up. Thank you, right? Say hello.
You're absolutely right about that. You're right. You're absolutely right. Exactly. You're absolutely right.
I cannot believe that. So the exact same outfit.
When I tell you, it was actually that's when Tommy Hilfiger was real popular.
Yep.
I'm talking about from the shirt, the shoes, everything, the pants, everything. The exact same outfit. Like we're twins. A guy that she started cheating with on a plane ride. Going to see her parents. Met the guy.
Were they the same size?
I'm sorry?
Were the items the same size?
Nah, he was a little heavier than me.
I have heard it all.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Well, at first I was like, well, I clearly don't have those skills, but I don't want those skills. Like what?
Exactly.
That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, actually, you gotta take a read. I think it's in chapter the Art of Horseman. That whole scenario was in one of those books. I can't remember which one.
Oh man. Okay, that is my commitment that I am going to take on. Let's see. So we're rolling up on November.
Yep, December's right around.
I'm gonna knock out 2 books before Thanksgiving. That's my goal.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. So Romelo's it's Christmas time, so it's on its way.
Wow.
It's on its way.
Oh, is that what we're doing? We're targeting Christmas?
Yeah, actually, the reason why for Christmas, I've always, after thinking about it, it's like every release is coming around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Every release. The 4 Horsemen, Chapter the Delta, Life, Little Addictions, the Conversation series, all that stuff. I'll release it around Christmas time. So we're going Christmas. So it's not far at all.
Okay, all right then. So does it have a title yet?
It's simply entitled Romello.
Okay, all right.
Simply entitled Romello.
Okay, all right.
Who knows? There might be some surprises. Might be a new love and all that good stuff.
Ooh.
Might be a new love in there.
Okay, so then that means I really got to get caught up so I can read through all of the red flags before we get to this one.
Yeah, well, that chapter, the Delta, and the 4 Horsemen have a ton of red flags.
Wow. Okay, well then I've got to get my read on.
Good stuff, man.
So let's see. We've got one more comment over there from Martine. She said, yeah. You see it right after the California sunshine comment. Oh yeah, because we got to read the second comment that she shares.
Which one?
Go up. One more. So yeah, I did remember red flags that had occurred before. Yep. So that's what I figured. I stopped talking to him and he slipped up on me with a what? With a gun?
Whoa. That's a red flag. That's a caution flag.
Right. Caution. We're past caution. I didn't say anything. Told him that being forceful isn't it.
Wow.
So then she goes on to say he even cried.
Them Detroit brothers, they something special. I used to hang out a lot
with them Gators.
Them Detroit brothers, real special, man. They love to do that crying thing, and they do a lot of gunplay and all that stuff. So yeah, I could.
What?
Yeah, them Detroit cats or something.
I have not lived. Thank you, but I have not lived.
Yeah, that ain't something else.
Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back and talk some more on when red flags just won't change their color.
Good stuff. We'll be right back, folks.
Thanks for tuning in to Conversations with Trent. We will be right back with more conversation after these commercial breaks.
Check out the creative work of the author Trent Williams of www.taylorkennedymedia.com. Chapter of the Delta gives us a peek at his life-changing events. And if that's not enough, Trent tells you more about his brothers and his life through memoirs in his book, The Four Horsemen. His blogs and daily stimulating quotes are published in his book, Life's Little Addiction. And when you have a need of some human coaching of life and relationships, take a look at Conversations with Trent, Volume 1 and 2, and Conversations with Trent, Limited Edition. You will find his works available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all online book retailers.
Welcome back to Conversations with Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're online and want to be a part of tonight's topic, you can do that by dialing 347-324-5327. Press the number 1 to get into the queue so that your voice can be added to tonight's conversation. Now, let's get back to the show.
All right, good stuff. Actually, the last ad was from Tabs Edible Creations, a sponsor of the conversation, the Trent Shann podcast, as well as the platform. So good stuff. Shout out to Shann, who's on mommy duties tonight with a wonderful daughter. So good stuff there. Shout out to Shann. Good stuff.
Yeah, don't forget the guys to order yourself some cookies.
Yeah. Actually, what she sent me a nice box over here.
You got what you get?
White chocolate. Got my favorite, the ultimate. It was a whole care package.
So, like, what kind of flags are those? It's a red flag for me because I didn't get any.
Hey, you know. I do apologize. I apologize for her mistake. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So let's jump back into these comments. And hey, welcome, Mark. Good evening. What's going on?
What up, Slash?
So going back to wrapping up Martine's experience with the red flags, plural.
Exactly.
He even cried You would. So hey, you were good. I mean, that's what you got to do, right? You can't panic.
Not if you got a pistol in his hand. You can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good at all. That's a huge red flash, caution tape, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not good, man. Not good. But when did you notice that the red flag though? What when he started doing these crazy things, Martine?
Because I'm sure it was before the gun thing.
Had to be. If he's pulling out guns or coming to the club, trying to pull you out the club and all that stuff, had to be a ton of red flags before.
Yeah, because he was about it before that.
What she said?
Well, she said he tripped all the way out. Oh, Mark, we're just talking. We are talking about it in the sense of relationships and dating. Hopefully, you'll see them before you get married, but sometimes people don't. I mean, I know some people who got married because, right, we love each other. And now all the flags were coming out. And I was just like, the flags showed themselves before that. Y'all opted not to see them.
Exactly. And some people are real good at, giving you the representative. They say that, they say it's 6 months to a year, a person could actually give you the representative. But if you a huge manipulator, you could actually take years to come out, especially when they don't get what they want.
Right. Exactly.
Especially when they don't get what they want. So
what do you think they want?
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Exactly. I'm just saying. So did Martine so Martine, that was the first time? That was it?
Wow.
Oh,
I would love to know if that brother was from Detroit. I got some friends in Detroit. I mean, these brothers act kind of different.
Wow. I heard you got some white chocolate, so I had to pop in, Trent. What? Oh, I don't even want to I'll let you man that comment.
I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know. I was always told not to speak to strangers, so you gotta. You have to. At least acknowledge yourself. Say exactly who you are. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I got some white chocolates. I'm not sharing though.
Wow.
Good stuff. So have you ever had any of those experiences?
I don't do crazy well. I just don't. But I think I probably will say that I probably don't handle it well. So I'm cool in the sense that Martine is, but I think probably what I do, and I recognize is what I do, is I just ignore people like they don't exist. And I think for some people that can make them angrier and make more of their red flags jump out. So it's probably not a wise thing.
Oh, what up, D-Mac? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's a good friend of mine out of Detroit. I always call him White Chocolate. He's real good. He's a white chocolate brother. What up, D-Mac?
What's going on, David? White chocolate, huh?
Yeah, it's good brother. Good brother of mine. Good brother. Real good brother, man. Good stuff. What Mark's talking about here? Let's see what he's saying.
Perhaps that chess or poker player they were dating kept their flag tucked in, like the NFL head coach with the replay flag.
Yeah, they got some slick ones out there. So they got some slick ones out there that could play that role to the end, to the bitter end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that works both ways now. That has no gender assignment. Because I've seen it both ways.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah.
What are some other red flags that you noted, Trent?
Let's see here. 1 second. Let's get to them.
I think one is, when people are like always testing your boundaries.
This is a good one. This is a good one, and actually, I go back and refer back to that past situation.
What the money bank, money bank Hank?
There you go, money bags. You only spend time with each other.
Well, that's what I was saying when I was saying that, when you have no friends.
Yeah, that's a huge, huge, huge red flag. If that person only want to spend time with you and you don't have no friends, damn, where your friends at?
I think that also kind of plays off of entitlement too. They feel entitled to you, the things that you bring, and all of that. So I think that kind of plays into the no friends. There's nobody but us. Like, that's how those folks got trapped up into somebody's house that I won't say.
Not good, not good, not good. Another one would be your partner undermines and puts you down. That's borderline abusive there. That's sometimes that could actually be verbal abuse.
Yeah, but I think it also that can play out another way, right? They can put you down, like not directly in front of you, but like they can go with their circle of friends and talk bad about you. Like,
good point. Good point.
I mean, it's it's like, the old folks say that, the dog that brings you a bone will carry one also, right? What are you reading, Trent?
I'm just reading through the comments. Just reading.
Yeah. So,
Mark.
Mark got resources tonight. Let's see. Red flags represent the early warnings of unhealthy traits that could potentially be damaging to the person or people involved in the relationship. I would agree with that. Mark, I think just a play off of that, do you think that that the damage really existed before they even kind of got into a relationship with someone? I mean, would you say they brought their damaged self to the relationship to begin with?
A lot of us did that, and I would actually I take full responsibility for bringing the toxic to my own party. I brought the party and supplied the liquor. So yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all as much as we try to not bring our stuff with us, but sometimes it's just that one suitcase you just can't drop off.
Exactly. But that's where communication, and I'm always stressing communication and friendships, any type of relationship that is. Communication is key, man. As soon as you see it, you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge it, then address it. You have to. Because ignoring it could be huge problems.
But so you talk about acknowledging it, but right, isn't that it seems like that's almost in the same vein of justifying why I do what I do. Exactly. Which is also another red flag, right?
Exactly.
I did it because I did it. Well, yeah, that's bad behavior and it's a red flag.
Exactly. Here, I'll give you an example of noticing something and not acknowledging it firsthand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was newlywed, and we had just built a home here in New Orleans. So we had a place over in Michigan, and we still had the place in Michigan, but living in New Orleans. So we built a home in New Orleans, and I remember one night I was at the studio. I owned the studio with my partner David. He comes on a lot to check us out. I owned the studio with him, and I had one of those late night sessions. So I would come on like maybe 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, get some rest, and back to do it all over again. But during that time, Teresa had a huge shopping habit online. And we were still buying stuff for the house and all this other stuff. And we were fresh moving in and what have you. So these blinds started showing up and these installers started showing up to the house. So I'm walking in on all this. I'm like, what's going on? So she was like, oh, audits and blinds and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, hey, let me take a look at it. So I'm looking at paperwork, the invoice and all this stuff. This girl bought, I kid you not, $30,000 in blinds for the entire house. Custom design blinds. Here's where the problem was at. I saw the problem years before. Even when we were dating over in Michigan, we had a condo in West Bloomfield. I saw the signs. I saw all those signs, ignored it because of the want. I wanted her. I wanted her until she pushed me into bankruptcy.
Wow.
She pushed me into bankruptcy. But I ignored those signs, man. Even though she brought that toxic to the party while we were dating, but it was a good toxic because I was still toxic at the time. I ignored the signs all the way into bankruptcy.
Wow.
All the way into bankruptcy. So people can bring their mess, man, with them. And sometimes it's up to your partner to call you out on your shit. I refused to call her out on her shit.
Why?
We ended up in bankruptcy court.
Why were you afraid? Why did you refuse to do so?
The want superseded.
Yeah, I hear that, but there's more to that. It sounds like there's another layer to that.
Go ahead, say that again, repeat that again.
I said it sounds like there's another layer to that.
Why I didn't mention it?
Yeah.
That was just me being me. That was just
and I wasn't really trying to kind of evoke some statement out of you, but it's really I think we all do that, right? We are afraid of, I don't want an argument, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, I don't want to disrupt this, and we out of some ridiculous.
You know what? You're absolutely right about that. I didn't want to disrupt the flow because the relationship was going well. I didn't want to.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Mark.
What'd he say?
Red flag, equal custom blind.
Hey man, sometimes we get into it, man. We get into it that way. Wait. Where's that coming?
The very last one. Oh my goodness.
Am I going the wrong way?
I don't even see where you are. It's the very last. Keep going. Oh my gosh. Down where's this custom blinds? Nope. Keep going. Fly through. Other way. Very end. Keep going.
Very end. Oh. Yeah, that's what we're right, man. But
that is hilarious.
Yeah, that was a red flag with the
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put that in my Twitter in my Twitter bio.
Yeah, but the whole thing was you're right about that. So I didn't want to disrupt the flow. It was, we were doing well, and the relationship was hitting on all cylinders. So I thought. So I didn't want to disrupt that.
Well, so you were committed to the optics.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Red flag for yourself.
There you go.
So one more red flag, Mark, that equals custom blind.
All right, Slash, come on. Not Slash, you're using me as your punching bag, huh? Go ahead.
Oh gosh, that is hilarious. Love it.
Yeah, but that's the truth though, man. So yeah.
Martine has a good one. She a few up from there, she says she's experienced a dude calling her a whole lot of times in a day. Yes, red flag. And what I will do is I will not answer your calls.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
That's problematic. That's beyond a red flag.
Very problematic.
And what does Mark go on to say? He said, how does move down? How does one know people try to get away with murder? There doesn't always have to be a dead body. True. They want their presents, cake, and eat it with the stripper. Well, no lies detected.
None at all. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right, man. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we want what we want.
Oh my gosh, I'm still giggling on the red flags equal custom blinds.
That was actually a huge red flag with the custom blind. A huge red flag.
Hey man, that was a lot of blinds.
Yeah,
were they?
Did you? I'm sorry.
Were they remote? You could press a button so they could open and close.
Some of them were, some of them wasn't, but they were. Every last one of them was custom, man. And when I tell you, I mean, we did a good resale on ours when we finally sold ours. It was pretty good. We did pretty good on it, but still, I let that ride. I shouldn't have let that ride.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have let that ride, but I didn't say anything to it.
Wow,
I gave into it. So,
and people have their little things. They just don't, To your point, right? You're so caught up in yourself and what you want that you will overlook it because your want far outweighs what's right.
Exactly. Totally agree, man. And in closing, because it's coming up on
an hour tonight, yeah.
But in closing, when your want outweighs your need, you miss a lot of things, man. You miss a lot of things when your want outweighs your need.
So what's your advice? As we come to wrap this hour up, what's your advice to someone who sees the red flags?
First
beyond
of all,
run.
Beyond running, but have that conversation with yourself first, and don't go into negotiating with yourself of why you should stay. When you start negotiating with yourself to try and change the color of the red flag, that's not a good thing, man. That's not a good thing. One mistake, yeah. Two mistake, 3, 4, and then start moving up, going upward. It's time. It's time for that conversation with yourself. Then it's time to look for the exit door.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that. And I think that you can't really get yourself caught up with trying to change the color of the flag because it won't. That individual who's presenting those flags really has to do the work themselves to, make that color change. And if you have to constantly be the catalyst for doing that, you're the red flag yourself. You're the red flag to yourself.
The ultimate red flag.
So that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's some good stuff, Trent. So I think this was a great topic, and we should explore this a little bit more. Maybe look deeper into some of these red flags.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We should have part 2 on this on Sunday. Maybe we'll go into part 2 on it.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure out how we can poll you all on what is a top red flag.
Exactly. That'd be a good one. Red flag part 2. The change of colors or something like that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Tell folks where they could always get you, Keys.
So you can find me on any platform in which you listen to podcasts. Look for Dear Bad Boss. Also on Instagram at CEO_Dear Bad Boss. So you can follow us there for some good material for those of us that are still working and don't necessarily enjoy what we do or who we do it for. So definitely would love for you guys to check it out and listen to the show. More shows coming soon, just in some final phases of editing. And then, Trent, where can we find you?
TaylorKennedyMedia.com. All things Trent, TaylorKennedyMedia.com for books, for quotes, for paraphernalia, for a t-shirt, quotes. I'm bringing back the t-shirt line, the quote line, for those who actually remember those. So I'm actually resurfacing that. So TaylorKennedyMedia.com. You see it scroll at the bottom of your screen. So you can get any books, the upcoming Romello book, The Four Horsemen, Chapter Delta, Life Full of Addictions, Conversation Series, all that good stuff. TaylorKennedyMedia.com. And for all our past podcasts, for Conversations with Trent Shann, go to the Conversations with Trent Shann's YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Check out the previous shows from us. Good stuff with Shann, myself, and Keys.
And more than anything, thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to tell a friend. It's the freest thing you can do for the show is tell them to subscribe. And just check out at least one show and share it with at least 5 friends. So we would appreciate it. But with that, I think, Trent, we'll see you on Sunday.
Good stuff, man. Real good stuff. Again, thank
you.
Hey,
wait a minute. There's one more thing. Where can we get those darn cookies, though?
TabsEdibleCreations.com. TabsEdibleCreations.com. She's always shipping out. She's shipping out daily. So, and actually they're fresh. She loves to say from oven to door service. So good stuff. She's I think she had a couple of shipments this week. And she did this new one called the Red Velvet Cookie, I believe it is.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She did tell me she was going to try that. I'm gonna have to go and patronize the cookie bin. See what's there.
Yeah.
And Mark, FYI, as we close out the show, I did update my Twitter profile to read flag equals custom blinds.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. As always, kids, hey, appreciate you for coming and sitting in Shannon's seat, and hopefully those kids are driving her ass crazy. So good stuff.
That's right. Absolutely. Get where I am, Shan. Get where I am.
There it is. There it is. So until Sunday, we'll be back, and we'll see you guys soon.
Have a great night, everyone.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.